Washington Commanders at the Atlanta Falcons. We're in a pennant race, you see?
Ah,
Game behind in the wild card. 12:40 start.
What is a pennant?
Winning the league.
The division? Like the conference?
I mean, the pennant is winning the league, but it's just called a pennant race. It's like the drive to win the National League or the American League.
Okay.
But right now, they're trying to get the last wild card spot.
Like the conference?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not actually in a pennant race. You're just trying to...
In a wild card race.
Right.
A game behind the Mets for the second wild card. Third wild card, whatever it is. Today's baseball. It's a big game. They blew it last night.
Sure.
Skeens last night. They couldn't hit them. Whatever. Commanders at the Falcons. Commanders by 1.5 here. Over under 45.5 per FanDuel.
Yeah. I would say, you've got Washington, whose offense has looked pretty good, but they're now pretty banged up. We don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to go yet. He says he's like it's a doctor's decision. I'm ready to go, but we've got to wait for the doctors to okay it. Terry McLaurin, probably not going to play. His thing went from like all of a sudden he's seen a specialist about a core muscle injury. That never sounds good,
Who's that, Jaden?
No, McLaurin.
Oh, McLaurin. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's a big loss.
Yeah.
56-yarder last week.
So I feel less good about Washington's offense if all their players are banged up.
I hate when our friends hit a slump. Like Bobby last year and Zach. Zach's offense. Now, Michael Penix, have you seen the Michael Penix heat maps, the passing charts?
No.
There's a big void. Big, huge hole in the middle of the field. Like if we were doing the stereotype would be if it was Kyler or Bryce Young or even a Baker or Russ, your shorter quarterbacks, and if they had one of these passing charts, you'd say,
can't see.
Too short, can't see.
That's why little guys can't make it.
They can't throw to the middle of the field. But it's Penix.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things
Not
like
very short.
Numbers are good to back up what you see on film. And when you watch Penix on film, it does feel like he just like rips it outside number. Like he just rips the ball outside the numbers all the time. That's how he played at Washington. That's how he plays with Drake London and Darnell Mooney. And then you see the plays where, you've got Kyle Pitts open over the middle of the field, who looks good, by the way. This is the Kyle Pitts breakout year.
Ironically. Everything else is bad, but Kyle Pitts looks pretty good.
This is the year. So that gives me hope that the offense can get better and back on track. But there's something missing with taking opportunities in the middle of the field from Michael Penix. And he even said, hey, I got to throw to open guys.
Yeah.
So that's me defending our friend Zach, who's getting dragged right now.
I know. What's frustrating about those things is that it makes you realize how little people actually know from the outside. Like, and you can't, the man's busy, right? You don't want to be like texting Zach, being like, hey, how come this stinks?
I mean,
regardless of what the answer is, like even if
I don't know how badly people take losses or whatever.
Yeah.
But like you have to get back to work, so I assume you don't sit there and. But I usually send texts on winning weeks.
Sure, but equally, just generally, you don't want to be bothering the man, during a season when he's got things to do, But I mean, with Bobby, this was a thing there was revisionist history last year. There's going to be revisionist history this year. The same thing's going to happen with Zach. Like, we don't know exactly what the dynamic is with almost any of this stuff, and it's really hard to parse that from the outside. Like, last year, you're like, well, the offense can't pick up stunts, blitzes, whatever in Houston, therefore it's Bobby's fault. He's the coach. You're the guy, and he gets
Him
fired.
and the O-line coach both get fired.
Right. This year, we've changed everything, right? The coaches are different. We've put all the responsibility on C.J. Stroud, and if anything, it looks worse, if not the exact same. It's like, well, then it can't have been his fault, or it can't have been only his fault at the very minimum. So, I saw somebody tweeting out this sort of thing of, like, here's 8 different stats that the Atlanta Falcons offense has that are like kind of outliers relative to the like league norms, like they're really low on play action rate. They do everything out of pistol, blah, blah. It's like, here's just some numbers. And like, well,
I think they have the lowest play action rate. That's the part
that's confusing.
I don't understand.
My point being, generally, it's like, here's just 8 stats where they're outliers. And then it's like, it's almost like presented without comment, but the inferred comment is all of these things are bad and it's all Zach's fault.
Yeah.
It's like, but do you even know if any of that is a problem? Like, those are just 8 outlier numbers, but why? right? Number one, why are they outlier numbers? Number two, is that good or bad for
Their
this
high
particular
pistol
offense?
usage, there might be some under center tells, and their low play action usage. Those are the types of things that are coming up.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know how much of that is A, an issue, and B, his fault. All right, that's enough of that, Steve. It's come to my attention that only 40% of people watching this are actually subscribed. So hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel a ton, and we appreciate it hugely. Now back to Steve.
I do wonder how much the offensive line issues, not having your right tackle, Elijah Wilkinson now, stepping in there as their third string basically. But things are off for Atlanta's offense. Even when they almost beat the Bucs in week 1 and they dominated the Vikings in week 2, but week 3 was bad.
And all this, by the way, is not to say it's not Zach's fault. I don't know. But it's like my frustration with these things is you realize how little you actually know when it comes to apportioning blame, which is ironic because most of all NFL analysis is literally just apportioning blame. This is his fault. This is that guy's fault. This is that guy's fault. Whereas realistically, when it happens
maybe
to
Penix
somebody,
isn't good. I don't know. I thought Penix would be better. He looked good down the stretch.
But when it happens to somebody where you do actually care about the person, ultimately, if I don't know Ben Johnson struggles, I don't give a crap, right? You know what I mean?
Sorry,
Ben Johnson might be a nice guy. I don't know him, so I don't really care, right? If Ben Johnson is good or terrible as a head coach, it affects me very little.
Not my problem.
Exactly. Whereas with Zach and Bobby, you do want to see them do well. So you're actually invested in finding out what the real truth is, like why is it struggling, et cetera. So again, I don't know if it's Zach's fault or not, but equally I don't know that it is. That's
Fair.
it's the frustration of not actually being able to diagnose these things from the outside.
I just don't know anything. I'm curious about Penix not throwing the ball down the field as often. He was much more aggressive last year.
Yeah.
One other, I don't even know how much this affects things. Zach's alma mater, Oklahoma State, did just fire head coach Mike Gundy. There are some rumblings that he's an outside candidate there.
Again?
That I've seen.
They're going to go after him again?
It was for the first time ever.
We're going to go after him for the first time ever?
For the first time ever in life that they will have gone after him. We don't know anything else. But there are, when you look at lists of coaching candidates, it's a bunch of the usual.
He's
coaching
always
candidates.
going to be a head coaching candidate for Oklahoma State.
He's just linked. He's being linked there. I don't know that that's even a thing, but just saying. Anyway, for the actual game here, I still really like Atlanta's defense and the way they're playing. I think that'll be interesting if it is Mariota. We don't know as of record time here if it's Mariota or Jaden Daniels. These two teams had great matchups last year, or a great matchup on Sunday Night Football. I think it went to overtime, and that was when Penix was at his best. Right, he threw 2 pits with no time left, a game-tying touchdown to get to overtime or whatever it was, and Washington won the game. That was also the game where I thought Washington and their 4th down decisions. Huge. Dan Quinn going for it on 4th down, putting the ball in Jaden Daniels' hands, and they made a ton of big plays. Atlanta's pass rush, though, is much more fierce than it's ever been. I think they have a chance to create some havoc up front, and it's one of those things you don't want to just react to the last thing that you saw. Atlanta getting wrecked by Carolina. I think they're a better team than that, and they'll play better, and I think this will be a good competitive game.
Yeah, I think their defense actually held up for a while in that game. It was more they ran out of steam because their offense was just getting nothing going ever. And, eventually, a defense it's very hard for defense to hold out the entire game in today's NFL. So if your offense is offering nothing, it's the later the game goes on, the more your defense is going to struggle. I'm curious, Atlanta's defense against the pass, I think, is very good now with that pressure and with what they do in the back end.
They're now at, really quick, 51% pressure rate, up from 32% last year.
Yeah.
Second in the league from 30th. So it has been much improved. Carry on.
Washington is going to want to run the ball a lot, but they may, Bill Krosky Merritt is banged up. I don't know how healthy he's going to be. So all of a sudden your running back room is a lot less pretty than it looked going into the season. Can they run the ball against Atlanta's defense? Mariota will be a part of that as well, or Jaden Daniels if he's playing. Because I think if Atlanta can force them to the air, they have the advantage.
You also have the other side of it. Bobby Wagner, still excellent against the run. And
leading the league in stops, I think.
Yeah, leading the league in solo tackles against the run with 17 without a missed tackle, according to our 33rd team.
He's always been one
notes.
of the best tacklers in the game.
So good. And so just something else to keep an eye on, Atlanta's run game, Bobby Wagner, defense, the Commanders tend to play with a little bit lighter box, put a lot of pressure on Wagner, so him and Bijan keys to this game.
The two leaders in defensive stops, according to NFL Pro, are Bobby Wagner and Demario Davis. Are they each 36
They're combined
years old
80
or whatever?
years old. They're
Right.
probably 80. Yeah.
80's a bit much.
It's
but
like they have the same combined age as Check the Mic.
I think they're Bobby Wagner's still only 35. So they're 35 and 36 years old, and they're the two linebackers.
As old as they are, they're like 8 years after our draft class. Just saying.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Great.
All right, man. Washington by 1.5 here.
I am going Washington.
I got Atlanta bouncing back. As home underdogs, Harry's going to take Washington. Is that a wit out pick for you? Do you want to change that if Jaden Daniels plays versus Mariota?
No, I think if Jaden Daniels plays, it's definitely Washington. Even if he doesn't, I think I'm still leaning that way.
Okay, so you're Washington even with Mariota. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
And the all-knowing algorithm is convinced you'll also like these videos. And who are we to argue?